Hello everyone. So in this session we are going to learn some generation topic of ultrasonic waves. Okay. So let us start with ultrasonic wave. Let me give you a brief that ultrasonic waves are the sound waves in frequency higher than 20 kilohertz, right? Very high frequency waves, sound waves are known as ultrasonic waves. Okay, then the wavelength is smaller, so the penetration power is high. They have high energy content. They can travel over long distances as a high directional beam, right? And the speed of propagation of ultrasonic waves increase with increase in frequency. Okay, so this is some basic things about ultrasonic waves, and now we are going to learn the method piezoelectric effect using which we are going to produce ultrasonic waves. Okay, so using piezoelectric effect ultrasonic waves are produced. How? Let us see. Okay, so first of all, a hexagonal crystal is there. Okay, so the hexagonal crystal is said to be have two faces, out of which at one faces we are going to apply pressure. Okay, at the center you can see there is an axis which is passing through the crystal. Okay, this is the axis of the crystal. Alright, so when pressure is applied to one of the faces of the hexagonal crystal, right, alternate current, or charges, right, alternate equal and opposite charges are produced on the other faces of the crystal. Okay, so when pressure is applied to a hexagonal crystal, right, as you can see in this diagram, right, hexagonal crystal can be like quartz crystal, right, then tourmaline or rochelle salt or rock salt we can say, right, all these are examples of hexagonal crystal. Okay, so when pressure is applied on one of the faces of a hexagonal crystal, okay, then equal and opposite charges are accumulated and on the other sides, on the other faces of the hexagonal crystal. This is known as piezoelectric effect. This effect is known as piezoelectric effect. Now the thing is that to produce ultrasonic waves, we are going to use inverse piezoelectric effect. Now, so inverse process is also possible when charges, right, or we can say when alternating voltage, or when we can say the potential difference is applied on one of the faces of the hexagonal crystal, then what happens, alternate contractions and expansions occurs on the other faces of the hexagonal crystal, on the other sides of the hexagonal crystal. Now this is known as inverse piezoelectric effect. Okay, inverse process of piezoelectric effect, right? In piezoelectric effect, when pressure is applied on one of the faces of the hexagonal crystal, equal and opposite charges gets accumulated on the other faces of the crystal, while here we are applying potential difference or alternating voltage on one of the faces of the hexagonal crystal, right? So in turn corresponding contractions and expansions occurs on the other faces of the hexagonal crystal. Okay, now what happens, the contraction and expansion depends upon the sign of the potential difference that you are applying, right? How the alternating voltage you are applying, that depends upon the contraction and expansion, depends upon how you are applying alternating voltage. Okay, so this is known as inverse piezoelectric effect. Now let us see how we are going to use it. Okay, so as you can see in this diagram, piezoelectric oscillatory circuit is shown, right, which is a little bit different from magnetosuction oscillator. So what happens here, there are three coils, right, unlike magnetosuction oscillator. In magnetosuction oscillator there were two coils. Okay, here we are having three coils. Okay, and you can see three lines are shown between coils L1, L2 and L3, right, which denotes, which represents transformer action, right, which gives that, which represents that there is transformer action, okay, between these coils. Okay, so first let us understand the construction. How many components are there? There is a battery, there is a transistor, there are three coils L1, L2, L3, there is a variable capacitor. Okay, then there is a metal plates A and B, and a quartz crystal which is placed between these metal plates, right? So ultrasonic waves are being produced from this quartz crystal. Okay, so how it is constructed, this oscillatory circuit is constructed, let us see. So first of all, L2 coil, inductor coil L2 is connected between battery and collector of the transistor. Okay, then L1C1, which we know that it is a tank circuit or resonant circuit. So the tank circuit or the parallel connection of inductor coil L1 and C1 is connected between base and emitter of the transistor. Okay, base and emitter of the transistor. So the tank circuit is connected between base and emitter of the transistor, right? So as you can see in this diagram, battery is connected between L2 coil and emitter of the transistor. So this is the first part of the first half of the oscillatory circuit. Now this coils, inductory coils L1, L2 and L3 are inductively coupled with each other, right? As you can see in this diagram, they are inductively coupled with each other. Okay, and L3 coil is connected with two metal plates. One is positively charged and another is negatively charged. So as you can see in this diagram, A metal plate is positively charged and B metal plate is negatively charged, and quartz crystal is placed between these two metal plates. Okay. So this is the basic construction of a piezoelectric oscillator, right? While L1 and L2 are acting as a primary coil of the transformer and L3 is acting as a secondary coil of the transformer. Okay, so this is how it is constructed, right? Again, let me brief it again. Battery is connected between coil L2 and emitter tank circuit L1C1, right? With L1 inductor coil with variable capacitor C1 in parallel is connected between base and emitter of the transistor. L1, L2 and L3 are inductively coupled coils. Right, L3 is connected with two metal plates, metal plate A which is positively charged, metal plate B which is negatively charged, and quartz crystal is placed between these two metal plates, right? So this is the basic construction of this circuit. Okay, now let us understand the working of this circuit. So first of all, when the battery is switched on, okay, when the battery is switched on and an alternating current is produced, and when current passes through L2 coil and L1 coil, right, magnetic field is produced due to the current, due to the changing current, alternating current. Okay, so transformer action will be there between these three coils. Okay, so first of all, the tank circuit or the resonant circuit produces the frequency 1 upon 2 pi L1C1. Okay, it produces an alternating current of frequency 1 upon 2 pi root L1C1. Okay, so due to this current, magnetic field is produced around L1, L2 and L3 coil. Okay, so magnetization is produced, and any change in magnetic field or magnetization, right, will produce flux or EMF. So an EMF is induced in coil L3 in this way, and this EMF is impressed on metal plate A and B, and as a result metal plate A and B are charged, right? Metal plate A is positively charged and metal plate B is negatively charged. Okay, so quartz crystal is being placed between these two metal plates. So when these metal plates are charged, right, potential difference or EMF will be applied on one face of the hexagonal crystal. So inverse piezoelectric effect will take place and crystal will start vibrating, right, with frequency 1 upon P upon 12 root E by rho. Okay, and when this two frequency matches, right, resonance condition will take place, and at resonant condition the crystal will vibrate with maximum amplitude and the ultrasonic wave will produce from the ends other sides of the hexagonal crystal. Okay, or the quartz crystal. So this is how ultrasonic waves are generated. Again, this frequency P upon 12 root E by rho is the frequency of ultrasonic waves being produced. P is known as the overtones. P represents the overtones, right? Then L is the length of the crystal, E is the elastic constant or Young's modulus of the crystal, and rho is the density of the crystal. Okay, so this is how ultrasonic waves are generated. Now let us brief some point. So when the battery is switched on, the oscillating circuit produces high frequency alternating voltage, which is given by 1 upon 2 pi root L1C1. Okay. Now the frequency of oscillation is controlled by the variable capacitor C1. So a variable capacitor, the purpose of using a variable capacitor is that we can tune the value of the capacitance in such a way that the frequency, both frequency matches, so we can get a resonance condition and thus ultrasonic waves can be produced. So the frequency of oscillation can be controlled by the variable capacitor C1. Due to transformer action, an EMF is impressed, is produced in coil L3, and they are fed on plates A and B. Right? As a result, metal plate A is positively charged and B is negatively charged. Now when this EMF is applied on one of the faces of the quartz crystal, inverse piezoelectric effect takes place and the crystal starts vibrating. Okay, the frequency of vibration is given by P upon 2L root E by rho. Okay, so where P is the value of overtones, right? P, for example, for P is equal to 1, 2, 3, it represents first fundamental overtone, then second overtone, then third overtone, and so on. Okay, E is the Young's modulus, or we can also say elastic constant, and rho is the density of the crystal. So this is how ultrasonic waves are generated using piezoelectric effect. Okay, rather inverse piezoelectric effect. Now let us see some advantages and disadvantages of this effect. So the first advantage is it is more efficient than magnetostriction oscillator. Okay, more efficient as is here the losses are not as much as magnetostriction oscillator because we are not using any magnetic material here, so there will be no losses such as hysteresis loss or eddy current loss, right, like magnetostriction oscillator. So it is more efficiency here, the efficiency is higher. Okay, then frequency as high as 5 to 10 raised to 8 hertz can be obtained. Okay, in magnetostriction oscillator there is a disadvantage that frequency of higher than 3 megahertz cannot be generated, but here frequency as high as 5 to 10 raised to 8 hertz can be obtained. Okay, output is very high here, then it is not affected by temperature and humidity. Okay, so these are the advantages of piezoelectric oscillator. Now disadvantage, the only disadvantage of this piezoelectric effect is that cost is very high, right, because the cutting and shaping of the crystal is quite complex, it is a difficult process. Okay, so this makes the circuit, the cost of the circuit higher. Okay, so cost is very high. Other than that, it can generate high frequency, output is also high, it is more efficient, and it is not affected by temperature and humidity. So this is all about piezoelectric oscillator. Thank you.